to take a look at an instant direction change, and it really is quite amazing. If we just watch what happens here. Rami comes across here and he gets his body all set, and right at this point here he's looking for a cross-court lob. So what he's looking for, he's looking to go back this direction. Sorry, I'll make that an arrow. He's looking to go back this direction here, which means he's charged up off this leg as his back foot or his outside foot, and he's going to drive off that leg and go across, which is what he wants to do. So basically by pushing across and driving off that outside foot, it'll give him enough forward motion to be able to go into that back left hand corner. But that's not the shot that's played. So if we watch what happens here, you see the shot, then he realizes what's going on, the ball goes down the wall. So what he's going to do now is this is where he is right here. He's going to reposition his left leg. So his left leg currently, if you notice what's going on, his left leg is currently in line with his shoulder. So he's got nothing to drive off that leg. He can't drive off that leg at the moment because there's nowhere to go. So what he needs to do is reposition that leg. So if you watch what happens and what he does, he repositions that leg out wider than his body, drops his body to diffuse the power in his right leg. So he's stored up energy in his right leg, and he's gone and pushed his left leg out and more so straight and wider than his body. So what happens here, if I put that line back in again, we go through here. And that line is wider than his hip line, which means he can now drive off that leg there. He can drive off this way. He keeps his foot side on, he doesn't turn it right round, and he drives off and the reason he does that is because he wants to drive in the direction of his hips. So he wants to drive in this direction, the way his hips are going, and that's why he's kept that foot that way, so he can go side on and not turn his whole body around as part of the deal. It takes too long to turn your body around. Side on motion is really, really quick. And so now the next part of the story is he needs to reposition his right leg or get that around. So we go back a little bit. You see his right leg is there, pointing towards the front wall. So watch his right leg, that will turn around and give him the direction he needs. He's worked out that he needs to go around about just service box area, so he hasn't needed to go all the way back. I believe he would have actually gone and repositioned his foot back this way further if he wanted to go back this way towards the back corner. But he hasn't had to do that because he knows he can cut the ball off by getting across here. I'll show you one other thing, and if we take a look at his hip motion. Okay, so when he lands here, okay, so we put a line in, and we'll just pop the one in there. That's roughly the direction of his hips. So if we have a look now at what happens, so his hips pointing, it's a little bit hard to really tell. I'll even change that one a little bit and drive that even that way slightly. So let's say it's pointing towards that front corner almost. So then by the time he goes 1 foot and repositions that foot, his hips are now changed direction completely, and that he's now got his hips pointing more so in that's the direction there, which is over towards this way here. What that does is that's the main direction. He can now drive his body really quickly and really easily off this foot by pushing that way off that foot there. So if you notice here, what happens, he's got that outside foot working for him, be it the left leg, and he drives off that outside foot. In this case, he's going to elect to take a right foot drive, a back foot drive, and that means he can actually take it behind his body, and it gives him more time to be able to use deception and cross court if he wants to, or choose to do whatever he likes. It allows him to cut a ball quite well off his right hip, rather than trying to get his left leg right across the front of his body to be able to take a front foot drive. You can get power that way, but the problem is it takes such a long time. This motion here is a really quick, sharp motion while you track the ball and get behind the ball. So now his body is in line with the ball. He's got a wonderful body position, all because of that back foot shuffle, the shuffle that went with his back foot behind, and that allowed him to transition across the court. So that's a 120-degree change last second, where he honestly believed, you can tell, that he most likely believed the ball was going to go back that way. Then he changes, diffuses, and goes back 120 degrees and attacks the ball with an attacking shot. And you see what he does to his opponent from that position there, where he didn't even think he was going to be playing the ball from that position, and now he's in a dominating position on the court. So there you go, that's how you do it. You simply just get your body really active, understand the slight movements and direction changes you need to do. The big one is to get the adjusted split step, where you pushed his left leg out wider than his shoulder, which gave him something to drive off, stored energy in his other leg from then on, and then went off and made the move. There you go. That's how you do it. Last minute change, 120 degrees, would you believe, without even having it planned prior to doing it, just instantly. That's how you move. That's real quality movement. Hope yourselves.